The small public courtyard next to Potiker City Heights residence in Mid-City San Diego allows tenants to enjoy the outdoors. Some would sit with their dogs, sip their coffee, or enjoy a smoke break. But resident Nancy Gail Gallagher says few of her neighbors feel safe there anymore.
It's just become a party place.
Everybody ain't your friend, everybody ain't your buddy.
She says groups of people who don't live in the area are bringing crime and drugs into the neighboring City Heights Square mini park.
Of course, there's been fights and screaming and yelling.
She says she could put up with a lot because she spent a few years homeless and encountered similar situations. But over the summer, a man high on drugs at the park made sexual comments toward her. And even she was startled.
I don't go in there and sit anymore unless it's empty.
Neither do many of the seniors at Potiker. Residents and management say the problems go further than noise, nuisance, and drugs.
Homie, I'm a gangster, you should know how I rock then.
Now they're fighting back and asking for a park curfew of 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. They're seeking preliminary approval this week and hope it moves on to the city council for the final okay.
And they're fearful to come, use the entire park or even to enter at all.
Melinda Forsty is chief operating officer for Serving Seniors. That's the company that owns Potiker. On the day KPBS met Forsty at the park, it was empty and quiet.
It looks very clean right now.
Absolutely.
It's really quiet.
But she says problems have gone on there for a while.
Drug use, drug dealing, violence, theft, and even prostitution.
She says it's now bleeding over from the park and into the Potiker building.
A lot of our residents do come here to smoke, and when they are trying to get back into our building, sometimes they're being followed by someone from the park, and they're fearful to not let them in, so that has caused some instances to happen in our building as well.
Staff say they once found a syringe in the building's open bathrooms. Another time in there, they saw a man and a woman who was known to prostitute. They didn't call the cops those times, but now they're locking the bathroom and alerting police about ongoing problems.
So the police department, they've been as responsive as they can be. I know that they're understaffed. They were patrolling the park 1 or 2 times a day earlier.
The police department would not agree to an interview, but in an email, Mid-City Police Captain Todd Griffin said officers can only issue citations for drug use. He says a woman was arrested near the park in December after she attacked a resident and spit on a manager. Griffin says there are ways for residents to report problems. Forsty says they're using them.
And making phone calls to the police department, emailing the police department, and then also documenting it on the Get It Done app.
The next step is the curfew. Potiker is arranging vans to take seniors to a Park and Rec board meeting this week where they can make their case. And they have a lot of support from community groups. But not all of the tenants agree people in the park cause problems. One woman who didn't want to be identified said some are just homeless and need a place to rest. Even resident Gallagher says some are kind, like the man she asked for a quarter to finish her laundry.
He pulled all the change out of his pocket, and he was counting all this change to give me 25 cents, dimes and nickels, and he was going to hand me those dimes and nickels. And I apologize. I'm so sorry. I need just a quarter for the dryer.
But she agrees something needs to be done. A tenants survey found drugs, homeless move-ins, and street gangs as the top reasons residents avoid the outdoor space next door.
It's just that we can't use the park. And honestly, I really don't know what they can do about it.
Neighborhood groups say there are crime issues at 4 other Mid-City parks. The board will also hear curfew proposals for those locations. Tarryn Mento, KPBS News.